Good day to everyone. This is Dr. Ferdinand Piano from University of Makati and the University of Caloocan City. And today we're going to be having another lecture as a continuation of our lecture series on writing a research paper. Okay. So for this particular lecture, we're going to be featuring a discussion or a presentation on how to write the scope and the limitations of the study. So this is one particular area where students find it difficult to um, write exactly what was needed, no, or what is required from them. Though maliit na part lang po siya in our research paper, but it means so much, no? Sobrang laki po ng importance niya sa ating paper, no? Though it could be as short as half the page, no? Or pwede rin namang one full page. Pero yun nga, kahit na ganoon lang po kaliit yung kanyang laman, no? Is sobrang importante niya in all research papers. Okay? So for this particular session, we're going to be learning how to write the scope and the limitations of your research. No? And we will also be highlighting the other part of this particular area, no, in our paper, which is also yung tinatawag nating na limitations naman. Okay? So for us to learn how to do this, let's proceed now to the next slide. So what is scope and delimitation? In a research, no, or in a thesis. Okay, so the scope and delimitation of a thesis or a dissertation or any research paper define the topic and the boundaries of the research problem to be investigated. No? So dyan po makikita yung laman ng ating paper when it comes to specifically identifying which part of your paper is covered. Okay? Ano po yung pinaka nilalaman, no? Sino-sino po yung mga magiging involved at hanggang saan po yung boundary, no, o yung limitation ng inyong kinakandak na research. Okay? So diyan po makikita yung mga bahaging 'yon, okay, in your paper. We call that the scope and delimitation section of your paper. Now, the scope details how in-depth your study is to explore the research questions and the parameters in which it will operate in relation to the population and time frame. Okay? So ito po ay isang importanteng bahagi din, no, na dapat nating ma-address, no, in writing our scope and delimitation. Yung pong pag-explore natin dun sa mga research questions, okay? And at the same time, yung pag-identify natin, no, or yung paghahanap natin ng relationship, no, nung ating mga parameters na yan, meaning our research questions, towards our population, no, the group of people where we will get our respondents. No? Yun po yung population. The group of people that we are looking for, no? And hopefully finding the research participants or respondents, no, from our research. Then of course we have to also mention the time frame, no? Kasi part yan ng scope, no? Hanggang kailan ba, no, yung gagawin nating research, no? Ano ba yung coverage ng ating research, no? What particular year or years are we going to cover, no, in our research? So that's also very important. Okay, another part that we need to specify in our scope and delimitation is the factors that or the factors and variables not to be included in the investigation. So dapat din mabanggit, since if we're talking of delimitations, dapat mabanggit din po natin kung ano po yung mga hindi dapat i-include, no? Okay, na mga variables. So dapat ma-mention din yan. Maging specific din po siya. Kasi nga po, hindi naman po pwedeng i-cover lahat ng ating research yung lahat ng bagay, no? So may mga limit lang tayo. No? So ito po ang ating mga, kumbaga magiging focus lang ng ating research, and we are not going to tap things outside this particular area. Okay? In other words, they are the boundaries the researcher sets in terms of study duration, population size, and types of participants. Okay? So dapat mabanggit po natin in our paper or in this particular area of your paper yung mga yung tinatawag na terms of the study duration, meaning gaano ba kahaba yung tatakbuhin ng inyong research, and then in terms of population size, no, gaano ba kadami yung expected number of the population that is normally covered by this research. No? For example, mga senior high school students, no, and how many are the senior high school students in one particular university? Okay. Pwede niya rin sigurong sabihin na mga more specifically, no, mga courses from the marketing management or mga students from the marketing management course. Okay? So, mga ilan kaya sila, no, for a certain college, no, from a certain college. So, pwede rin 'yon, no? Kung gusto niyo naman lumabas po sa schools, no, pwede naman sigurong banggitin kunyari yung population nyo are mga jeepney drivers, no? So gaano karaming mga jeepney drivers, no, ang covered ng inyong research, no? So that's what we mean by population size. So that must be indicated, no, or included in your scope and delimitation, particularly in delimitation part. Okay? And kung ano-anong mga type ng participants yung kasama sa inyong research. No? Siyempre, dinetermine mo lang naman yung population size, pero dito dapat ma-profile din, no? Ma-identify din specifically from the population size or from the population kung ano-ano ba yung uri ng mga o yung profile ng mga respondents na magiging bahagi ng inyong research. Okay? So again, no, para maging clear lang po tayo dito sa part na to, the limitation of the study are the factors and variables not to be included in the investigation. Okay? Yung mga bagay na hindi naman na dapat, no, included, no, in our research. Kasi kaya nga sinasabing delimit siya. In other words, they are the boundaries of the researchers set in terms of study duration. No? So hindi na namin covered yung mga panahon o yung mga taon outside of our intended duration. Okay, same thing for population size and same thing for types of participants. Okay? So, yun po yung ating tinatawag na delimitations. Now, let's talk about the difference between delimitations and limitations. Delimitations refer to the boundaries of the research study based on the researcher's decision of what to include and what to exclude. Okay, no? So may difference po yung dalawang yun, na medyo confusing lang, no? But they have definitely a difference. No? Sa delimitation, what to include and what not to include. Okay? Or what to exclude, no? To be straightforward. No? So what to include and what not to include. Okay? So they narrow your study to make it more manageable and relevant to what you are trying to prove. Okay? So yung delimitation kasi is it narrows down, no? To say the least, no, parang sinasabi mo na ito lang talaga yung pinaka-focus ng aming study. And we do not intend to tap other areas, no, that is not within the context, within the scope of this research. Yun po yung tinatawag nating delimitations. Okay? Now let's go over to limitations naman. Limitations relate to the validity and reliability of the study. Okay? So tumutukoy naman siya doon sa validity and reliability of the study, meaning to say it's okay, no, to recognize, it's good to recognize that our research has its own limitations or weaknesses. Okay? And it will only be valid up to this particular scope or up to this particular area. Kapag lumabas ka na po doon, well, pwede nating masabing hindi na humihina yung validity, no, and reliability of our research. Kasi nga, meron tayong particular area na fina-focus lang at dun lang yung scope ng ating research. Anything outside of that might be a little questionable, no, on our part kasi hindi naman talaga totally covered ng research natin yun. So mag-compromise yung reliability and validity ng ating study. Okay? They are characteristics of the research design or methodology that are out of your control, no? Out of the control of the researcher, but influence your research findings, no? Pwede nating sabihin na, o nga, hindi nga ito masyadong, hindi na nga ito tinatap ng ating research, yung takbo ng ating research. However, the difference is, kahit na ganun siya kalayo, no, o ka-remote sa ating ginagawang study, ay meron pa rin siyang epekto, no, somehow sa ating ginagawang research, no? And that effect is somewhat uncontrollable, no? Kasi nga hindi naman na pwedeng gawin lahat ng researcher, no, in his paper, no? Limited lang yung kanyang capacity. Okay? So and obviously researchers, no, knows exactly what we mean by limiting ourselves to this particular area only, no? Kasi hindi naman talaga kakayanin na i-cover ng research lahat. Okay? Ang mga research pa naman, no, is kinakailangan mas particular ka, mas specific, and mas kailangan na mas nakafocus ka, no, on one particular scope or on one particular area. Because of this, they determine the internal and external validity of your study and are considered potential weaknesses. Okay? So, pero ganun talaga, no? Hindi naman natin ito pwedeng i-cover lahat. So, let's face it, no? At kailangan din nating aminin na mayroong mga limitations yung ating mga study. Okay? Yun nga lang, wag na po natin, in writing this particular part, wag na po natin masyadong i-highlight, no, or i-emphasize. Kasi baka during your defense or during your presentation, baka kalkalin ng mga panelists, no, hanggang sa naging big deal siya, no, samantalang dapat very minimal lang yung pag-mention natin dito, no, hanggang sa ipilit na mga panelists until ma-realize na, oh my God, wala pala tayong ipinaglalaban, no? So dapat minor lang na pagkakasabi. Probably 1 to 2 sentences might be enough, no, to cover what is needed to be mentioned, no, in the limitations of your study. Okay? Now, let's talk about the guidelines, no, on how to write a scope. Okay? O yung scope and delimitation na tinatawag ng ating study. Okay? So, a good scope statement will answer the following 6 questions. So yung mga basic W questions natin, yung why, what, where, when, who, and how. First off is why, the general aims and objectives or purpose of your research. So dapat ma-identify natin, no, kung bakit po ba natin ginagawa yung research. So the aims and the objectives, or the research objectives or the purpose why we're doing this research is dapat mabigyan ng emphasis, no, in the scope of the study. Okay? Maganda rin po na sundin natin yung sequence, no, from why, what, where, when, who, and how. Okay? So we begin with, or po pwede rin mag-interchange yung what and why, no? Feeling ko mas maganda kung what muna. Okay? And then speaking of what, no, what means the subject to be investigated and the included variables. No? Sino-sino ba or ano po ba yung mga iniimbestigahan or inaaral ng mga researchers, no? At ano-ano po yung mga variables na dapat na maging covered ng ating research. So yun po yung what, no? Maganda po na siguro isunod doon yung why, no, after ng what. Okay? Kasi parang gina-justify mo yung what. Okay? And then third is where. The location, where means the location or setting of the study. Example is where the data will be gathered and to which entity the data will belong. So dapat ma-identify din yung exact location, no? Or yung tinatawag nilang research local, no? Saan po ba ginawa or gagawin yung current study, no? So, yung particular location and kanino kukunin yung mga information. Okay? So move forward tayo doon sa fourth fifth, and sixth steps or questions. So for the fourth question, when, no? The time frame within which the data is to be collected. So dapat mabanggit din, okay? Kung hanggang kailan makukuha yung data. And probably, no, justification, no, parang i-explain lang din natin as to why this is the particular time frame. No? Bakit dito lang po natin gagawin yung research. So one sentence may do also. Okay, actually doon sa mga W questions na to, no, hanggang how, state and then justify. No? So pwedeng, it could be in just one sentence, no, or it could be as much as two sentences. No? Pero more than that might be a little too much. No? So 1 to 2 sentences will do na lang. Okay, next is who, the subject matter of the study and the population from which they will be selected. Okay? So sino po yung ating mga participants ng ating research, no? In particular, ano ba yung population, no? Na kung saan nabibilang yung o anong grupo nabibilang yung mga participants natin, target participants natin. Okay? And how will they be selected? Paano ba sila pinili? This population needs to be large enough to be able to make generalization. So important yung population na ma-determine in the scope and delimitation kasi para masabi natin yung size o yung volume ng population para ma-justify din natin kung gaano ka importante or ka-valid yung ating research. Okay? Then the last question that needs to be addressed, no, in writing your scope is how. How means how the research is to be conducted, including a description of the research design. No? Example, whether it is experimental research, qualitative research, or a case study. Methodology, research tools, and analysis techniques. No? So ano po ba yung mga gagawin nating mga methodologies? No? Okay, ano-anong gagamitin nating mga proseso? No? Research processes, or research designs, no, research methodologies, para ma-address natin yung mga research problems or yung mga research objectives na nilagay natin doon sa why question. Okay? Gaya nga ng sinabing example dito, whether it is experimental research, qualitative research, or a case study, it must be indicated and must also be justified why we are adapting these kinds of methodologies. Okay, so yun po yung guidelines on how to write a scope and delimitation. Okay, just remember yung mga W questions natin together with the how. Why, what, where, when, who, and how. So moving on to this particular part of our lecture, no, yung more about guidelines on how to write a scope. So parang karugtong po ito nung previous slides. No? So to make things as clear as possible, you should also state why specific variables were omitted from the research scope and whether this was because it was a delimitation or a limitation. You should also explain why they could not be overcome with standard research methods backed up by scientific evidence. Okay? So para mas maging klaro daw po sa ating mga magbabasa, no? You should also state why specific variables were omitted. Kung may mga inalis po tayong mga variables or hindi natin in-include ng mga variables, dapat ma-justify din natin. Okay? Bilang bahagi ng, na hindi na naging bahagi ng ating research scope. Okay? And whether this was because it was a delimitation or a limitation. Okay? So banggitin din po bakit na sila pasok sa tinatawag nating delimitation. You should also explain why they could not be overcome. Okay? With standard research methods backed up by scientific evidence. Okay po. So yun. Okay. Now, moving on to another tip, no, on how to write your scope. So, how to start writing your study scope. No? So, we begin by these particular statements or these particular phrases. Okay? Number 1, this study is focused on. Another is this study covers the, and then this study aims to. No? So yan po yung mga pwede nating mga panimula. Okay? Sa pagsusulat ng ating scope and delimitation. But of course, it's not in bulleted form guys. Ha? ano siya, narrative, no? Dire-diretso po siyang discussion. Nakaparagraph po siya. Dugtong-dugtong po yan, hindi po nakabulot. Okay po? Moving on to another tip. So, guidelines on how to write delimitations naman tayo. Kanina kasi scope yun. Dito naman sa delimitation tayo. So, since delimitation parameters are within the researcher's control, readers need to know what they were set, what alternative options were available, and why these alternatives were rejected. Okay, so speaking of delimitations naman tayo, no? So dapat may certain parameters din yung mga delimitation natin, no? Within the researchers control, no? Kasi may mga bagay talaga na sadyang hindi kontrolado ng mga researchers, no? So yung mga hindi nag-response ng mga respondents, no? Hindi sumagot ng ating survey questionnaire. Or tinanggap yung survey pero hindi nasagutan, no? On time. So syempre, since tayo ay may time frame na, no? At nasagutan niya, yun nga lang, nung binalik sa'yo, hindi na maabot sa time. So, hindi na natin siya may isasama sa ating study. No? So yung mga ganung bagay is actually out of the researcher's control. Readers need to know why they were set, what alternative options were available, and why these alternatives were rejected. Okay, so dapat mabanggit din natin yun sa ating delimitations. Or i-consider lang pala. Not necessarily mabanggit, but i-consider lang in writing our delimitations. Now here's the example. If you are collecting data that can be derived from 3 different but similar experiments, the reader needs to understand how and why you decided to select the one you have. No? Okay, so kung pwede pala siyang kunin dun sa tatlong uri ng experiments, no? Bakit yung isa lang po yung ating kinuha at hindi na natin sinama yung dalawa, no? So dapat ma-justify po natin yun, no? Okay. Kasi parang sinabi mo na ito lang yung pwede ay gagamitin mo, and other 2 sources of information or sources of data will not be included, no? So dapat ma-justify siya. Your reasons should always be linked back to your research question, as all delimitations should result from trying to make your study more relevant to your scope. Okay? So dapat yung mga magiging dahilan mo, no, o yung mga paliwanag mo, yung explanation and justification mo should always be linked back to your research question. So parang you should always go back to your research question. Babalikan niyo siya, no, para hindi kayo mawala. Kaya nga kayo nagdi-delimit eh. Kasi ayaw niyong lumayo, no, sa mga topics, no, sa scope na hindi na talaga covered ng inyong research. That's why you have to link that back to your research question. As all delimitations should result from trying to make your study more relevant to your scope. Yeah. As I have said, no, kailangan ma-maintain mo yung relevance nung ginagawa mong study doon sa inyong mga research questions. Okay? Therefore, the scope and delimitations are usually considered together when writing a paper, no? One more thing, no? Okay, kaya po may scope and delimitation para masiguro natin yung focus ng inyong research. Okay? Para talagang mas maging pinpointed, no, or targeted yung nature ng research ng meron ka. Okay, ng study na meron kayo. Okay. So, next up is how to start writing your study delimitations. So, paano po ba natin isusulat, no? Or kahit man lang yung panimula ng pagsulat ng ating study delimitations. So, the following may be adopted. This study does not cover, this study is limited to, and the following has been excluded from this study. Again, pwede po silang magkakadugtong, or po pwede rin namang isa lang, no, yung gamitin nyo. No? Depende po kung alin sa tatlong alternatives yung pwede nyong gamitin. Okay? Doon pala sa scope, no, po pwede rin pong isa lang din yung gamitin natin. No? Depende kung alin yung pinaka-applicable. No? Kung applicable yung dalawa, pwede nyo gamitin parehas. Kung applicable yung tatlo, pwede nyo rin gamitin silang tatlo. No? Pero dito, I think yung delimitations is very Parang, I mean, very, very minimal or very few lang naman yung dapat mong banggitin in terms of the limitations. So kahit isa lang dito yung pwede mong as a beginning statement, no? Isa lang dito yung gamitin mo, pwede na. Okay? So moving on to the next slide, examples of delimitation in research. So, no, paano ba, ano po ba yung mga examples ng pagde-delimit ng ating research? No? So you do the delimitations in terms of the following: research objectives, sa research questions, sa research variables, sa target population, at saka yung sa statistical analysis and techniques. So dyan po kayo pwedeng kumuha ng mga examples na gagamitin nyo in your delimitation. Okay? And then, as for the examples of limitations in research, okay, ito naman po yung mga pwede nating banggitin, no? Or mga pwedeng covered ng limitations ng inyong research. Number one is issues with sample and selection. Parang yung pagpili nyo ng sample, na meaning ng mga respondents at kung ano yung ginamit nyong methodology, no? Or technique, no, sa pagpili ng sample, pwedeng banggitin dyan sa limitations. Insufficient sample size, population traits, or specific participants for statistical significance, pwede rin pong gamitin as an example of limitations in research. Lack of previous research studies on the topic which has allowed for further analysis, no? Kung hindi po talaga may isasama yung mga yan, no? The researchers cannot do anything about it, no? Kasi nga part na siya ng limitations eh. Because the researcher wants to focus on something more relevant to his research, no? Kaya itong mga bagay na to po pwede na pong maging bahagi ng limitations of your research. Now, limitation in the technology, instruments used to collect your data may also be covered, no, as part of the limitations of your research. E kung hindi naman talaga gagamit ng ganyang mga technologies and instrument, so, or hindi accessible, no, or hindi viable, feasible for the researchers, kasi una, pwedeng mahal, magastos, walang access, no? So, or hindi alam kung paano gamitin yung technology or yung instrument. So, pwedeng maging bahagi ng limitations. Okay? Then another is limited financial resources and or funding constraints. So, pwede rin pong banggitin yan, no? In connection to the technology and instruments. So, ganun po talaga. May mga bagay na sadyang hindi na po talaga sakop ng inyong research. Kaya po, mag-fall siya under limitations, no? Or yung hindi na po kayang gawin ng researcher, no? So, pasok po siya sa limitations, no? Okay lang pong magbanggit ng mga ganyan, pero not too much lang po, kasi baka maging ma-sense ng mga panelists na marami kayong weaknesses, no? Okay. So, highlighting one or two may be enough, no? Pero wag namang yung halos lahat ng ito inilagay mo dyan. So, baka maisip na ng mga panelists na wala palang sense yung research nyo kasi napakaraming weaknesses. Okay? So, advisable lang is one, no? The most na siguro is two. Okay po? And then for our last slide, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for listening. For the next set of topics that I will be featuring in my next video will be about the request to conduct research, process from the institution's very own research ethics committee. So, abangan niyo po yung next video natin na i-release very, very soon, which will feature this particular topic. Okay, yung process mismo ng request to conduct research from the University of Makati Research Ethics Committee. Thank you so much and God bless.